All right, joining me now is not just one, but two UFC fighters. Joining me is UFC flyweight fighters Louis Smolka, back on the show for the first time in a while, and also joining him, he's driving right now. They're in the car in California, getting ready for their upcoming fights. Well, I guess Russell is getting ready for his upcoming fight. It is UFC bantamweight Russell Doane. How are you guys? I appreciate the time.
No problem, Nick. Great to be here, man. We're just over here chilling in beautiful Southern California. You know what I'm saying?
A lot warmer than here in Winnipeg. Very, very warmer than Winnipeg. Winnipeg, it's winter here. A lot of snow. Kind of jealous right now. Got to be honest.
Bro, it's hot out here, dude. It got hot all of a sudden.
Oh, is it? Really?
Yeah, come down visit us, Nick. We're staying at our manager's house. We're staying at Jason House's house.
You know what? I was actually down in California in December, but I missed you guys.
Man, all right, next time.
Maybe. Well, hopefully. Fingers are crossed. Well, Louis, I'll start with you. Since we last spoke, you haven't, you've had a few fights not go your way. You were very close to an interim title shot. I know one of the last times we spoke, you were wanting that interim title shot against Wilson Hayes. I think that was back in the summer of 2016, if I recall correctly. What do you, do you have an explanation? Have you really sat down and figured out what has been going on? Why you've been coming up short a few times?
Honestly, I don't really have a real answer for you. I mean, I don't know if I took it serious, took advantage of some things, lost my head. I don't know. I mean, it's probably a number of things. I probably did a lot of stuff wrong, took advantage of a lot of situations in ways that I shouldn't have, and yeah.
Do you feel like you were trying to fix those ways? Because I know you did some interviews before your last fight in December, UFC 219. You took on Mateus Nicolau. I know a lot of websites were really pushing the idea that you stopped drinking, and I know you tweeted about that. It seemed to be maybe taken a little too far, but did you feel like you were correcting any mistakes you were making, or you felt you were making?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to fix stuff. I've been trying to, tweak things here and there. It's just, I don't know, ever since, that Ben fight, that was my last win. I don't know if it was from, I don't know, maybe I thought, I don't know, maybe I got ahead of myself and thought, I was next in line for Demetrius and stopped caring. Or, I don't know, maybe Moreno, after he choked me, it, broke my morale. I don't know what happened, dude, but, yeah, it hasn't been working out.
Well, the biggest switch you've made it seems to be happening sort of right now. You are making the transition. You are making the move to Team Oyama in Southern California. You, of course, have been training in Hawaii, your homeland for home state for many years. Hawaii Elite MMA. That is true, right? You are basically making the move to Team Oyama full time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm checking it out right now, but that does look like what's gonna happen. I'm kind of getting the lay of the land and stuff, trying to figure out where I would get a house, trying to figure it out. But I'm liking the program out here, and it does seem to be we're just feeling it out, but it does seem to be going that way.
How long have you actually been in California training?
A week and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, Russell came up here first. This pretty guy over here. He came up first, and then we always do everything together. So I ended up just kind of following him out here. He was kind of really pushing the idea to me, and my fiance was kind of well, you're at home, you're moping around because you just lost again, and you're not doing me any favors, so you might as well leave. He kind of kicked me out.
Really?
Yeah, so he's yeah, get the fuck out of here. I was all right. Bye.
Is that going to be tough, leaving sort of everything you have back in Hawaii, including your family?
Yeah, dude, it sucks, man. I look at Yumi's and Lucy's. I look at their IGs, just look at pictures of them and cry probably at least once or twice a day.
So why Team Oyama? And Team Oyama, I mean, has been doing really great things. I think Oyama's gym is actually one of the more underrated gyms, I think, right now, just because it doesn't have the biggest names or the biggest stars, but you guys have been winning almost all of your fights. It seems like you guys are sort of coming up, and maybe a year down the road, year or 2 years, people might be looking at Team Oyama as one of the best gyms in the world. Why did you end up picking Oyama as what looks like will be your new gym?
'Cause Russell came here. Straight up, that's why. But I mean, he's had like a long relationship with our manager, Jason
Right.
House. You know, Jason is really like big on him, knows him really well, knows us really well. You know, he's Colin Oyama. He's from Hawaii too, so there's that connection. And like, you know, just like I met him like a long time ago, maybe like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, before I got in the UFC. And, you know, he's always been really cool to me, you know. And yeah, like it's just it works, you know. I was just coming to check it out, but you know, I really like the program. I like how he runs it. I like how he like kind of like the way things are kind of like melted together, the way things are blended, and like I really like the program. You know, I'm having a great time with it. I'm trying to like learn it as quickly as I can, and you know, get as good at it as quickly as possible.
And I know you've only been there for about a week and a half, been in California for about a week and a half, but I imagine things are going really smoothly, because if they weren't, you would probably have packed your bags already.
Yeah, no, I'm having a great time, dude. I'm loving it out here. It's great. You know, everyone is super nice. You know, everyone that trains there, like, you know, there's a bunch of UFC guys. Like, they have, like, Alex Perez, Chito Vera, Joe Soto. They're both fighting, like, this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's pretty good, you know. It's good out here. Life is good.
For sure.
And again, coming hungry kids, you know, like they have a good they have like a good body of guys out here.
For sure. Russell, I want to go to you for a couple minutes. When did you first make the trip up to California to train at Team Oyama? It's been a little while, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, I've probably been here for like a month. I was only supposed to stay here for 1 week. Same thing. I just wanted to feel it out. Yes or no. Like, you know, get a lay of the land. Ultimately, I wanted to move out here anyway. But when I got here, they got me a fight. And it's one of those situations where I just told myself, like, you know, just burn the boats. Like, I'm here. You know, fuck it. I'm going to stay. I'm going to go all in. And I'm going to put all my cards in this. And when I sit and we talk with Colin, or in Coach Oyama, Colin Oyama, when he talks to us, or you just get a really good feel of him as a person, him as a coach, and it's awesome. We connect really well with him, so why not go all out, go all in, and put all my eggs in this basket.
And so you're staying in California for sure. There's no chance going back to your old gym in Hawaii. Are you
I'm
for
kind
sure?
of in the same situation. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of in the same situation as Louis, where my girlfriend, she told me, don't come home. She said, you know, and really it's just me. I'm so lucky and so blessed to have her, because, you know, she's at home with the kids and she's taking on all these other things. And she did it for me. She did it for me because she wants me to stay and dream and focus on my career more than, you know, focusing on the things at home. And I really do owe her a lot for this. So that's why I'm going all in, and I'm going to go out there and start knocking some guys out, make some money, move my family here, and give her everything she wants, everything she deserves.
When does that process start, or has it already started, the moving your family to California?
Well, I mean, so the way I see it, if I can get 3 fights this year, 3 wins this year, maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3 bonuses. That'll be like, the more money I can make, the faster I can get them here, because I want to buy her a house. I want to, you know, give her all the things she deserves.
Sure. So you've been at Team Oyama for a little while longer than Louis. Have you noticed improvements already? Do you feel like you're getting better as a fighter already?
I do, because like Louis said, you know, there's a different group of guys, different hunger, different. The coaching staff is great. You know, out here in Hawaii, it's kind of hard because people, they don't really want to sponsor us. They don't want to help us because we're so far away, and it doesn't really do them any good. But here, you know, people, they're like, hey, well, maybe we'll give you food. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. We'll give you clothes. So I don't have anything to worry about while I'm out here except for my training.
So you got back into the winning column June 17th of last year, UFC Fight Night 111 in Singapore. You defeated Kwan Ho Kwok by first round TKO. What was that feeling like, to finally get the job done for the first time in about 3 years, I think it was, to finally get back into that W column? How good did that feel?
I don't know if you of course, I don't know if you heard me screaming, but I was screaming in the cage, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then not only did I scream through the cage, I'm sorry if story's a bad thing, but for like, you know, you got to go in the back and you got to do all these interviews and yada, yada, yada. And the process probably takes like a good 15 minutes of interviews. And the whole time walking through the back, I was screaming, "Fuck yeah!" Everybody heard me. Everybody in the entire arena backstage knew that it was me running around screaming. And it was a blast. Like I couldn't ever explain how good it felt.
And but I'm sure the UFC staff or anyone didn't really give you any crap for that, even though maybe it was interrupting their interviews or something, just because you're on cloud nine, and I'm sure they sort of understood that.
Yeah, no, they did. They were happy with me. To be honest, not one person said shh. Everybody was like, yeah, like, you know, smiling with me, clapping a little bit. They're happy for me. I'm pretty sure they understood the emotion. I'm pretty sure everybody who works for the UFC understands the emotions that we go through.
After the Mirsad Bektic loss in October 2016, I know Bektic, you took that fight on short notice, very short notice. Bektic is a top guy. We just saw him, you know, defeat Godofredo Pepe this past weekend with an unbelievable body shot. This guy is legit. But even still, that aside, were you surprised to get another shot, or did you see it coming?
I did actually. We took that fight to save my career, to be honest, because, you know, like Louis, I was making my mistakes, and I was doing things outside that weren't really helping me inside the cage. You know, and it's just life, I guess. We're kids. Don't get me wrong. I'm technically 31, but you know, we're still kids. We've never been in the spotlight like that. We don't understand it. But at the time, I was doing stupid things, you know, and I was making a lot of mistakes. And my manager, he kind of, you know, they kind of put me into that fight to help save my career. It gave me another shot. And, I mean, can't be mad at it. That's for sure.
For sure. Louis, let's go back to you for a little bit. Can you talk about what it's been like at your home gym, Hawaii Elite MMA? What's the scene sort of there up until when you left, basically, a week and a half ago?
It's all good, you know. We're just like, fuck, it's all good over there. I mean, everyone is just kind of like doing their thing, like they're getting ready for the Destiny fights and stuff. Like, I don't know, I came up here to check it out, but like, I don't know, I guess we're just gonna be staying up here and stuff.
Okay, so it's not like there's anything necessarily wrong with your former gym, but you just sort of felt like you feel like you fit in maybe even better here. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think like I just need to leave Hawaii for certain reasons, like the drinking and stuff. Like I kind of just like I need to be out of my comfort zone, you know. Like I'm not disciplined out there. Out here, like I'm a little more disciplined. Like our manager Jason, he always talks about how like Mike Tyson was at his best when he was like in like a little cabin in the woods and all he could do was train and he was isolated. And don't get me wrong, we're in California, but we're pretty freaking isolated right now. Like, we're like Elsinore, like, we're like isolated. Like, we don't do shit but train and like drive like 2 hours a day to get home and then eat like a quick meal and go to bed. Maybe get like a couple games of Counter-Strike in. Like, that's it.
So what's the main... Why do you feel like you... Go ahead.
Oh, no, ask Russell, man. We don't do shit.
We don't do nothing.
We don't do shit.
You can confirm, Russell?
Yeah, this is a confirmation. We don't do a damn thing.
So then, Louis, why do you feel like at home in Hawaii, like you're not as isolated? It's because you have your friends there, your family. Like, what exactly? Why are you so isolated in California but not Hawaii? Or is that just moving away from home? You're in any situation, you're more isolated.
Yeah, like you're not like you're just out of your comfort zone. You know, it forces you to grow. It forces you to become different. Like, and honestly, like I don't really understand how like anything works out here. I can't drive on the freaking freeway, that's for sure. I've seen some shit, man. In Hawaii, I never understood why cars needed to go over like 70 miles an hour because we live on an island. Now I get it, bro. I get why guys have the souped up cars, and I get why Tokyo Drift is a thing. Like, I get why we need like the NOS kits and stuff. I get it. I've seen some shit on the freeway, and now I understand.
So is this why Russell is driving? He has a bit more experience in California driving?
He gets anxieties just looking at the other cars.
Bro, that shit is wild, dude. I've been playing the Tokyo Drift theme song every time we gotta make a sketch move in traffic. Like,
I'm curious. I know Russell sort of says you get anxiety, maybe as a joke, but like, do you in fights, Louis? Do you get anxious? I'm just
hell yeah! I'm scared
curious,
as fuck. I'm scared as shit all the time. It's a fucking scary job. I'm scared as fuck, dude.
Do you feel like that's normal though? You should be.
Yeah, I mean, which Gracie was it? Hickson or something? It's like, if you're not scared, you're stupid. I was like, yeah, that's real, bro.
But it's not a problem because, I mean, it's normal. You should be scared because you're going in to fight someone. They're trying to beat you up. It's sort of like a normal feeling. It's not something you want to correct. Am I right there?
Yeah, like, I feel like it's a thing that, like, it's really tricky to manage correctly. Like, you want to be scared so you're smart, but you also want to, like, be confident so you're, like, not freezing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be scared and smart, but not frozen. Like, I don't know. It's a weird thing to find, like to manage, to find a happy medium for.
Russell, do you feel the same way? Do you get as anxious or not as much?
To be honest, I used to, but now I, like, for instance, for the first time in my life, like when I fought Kwan Ho Kwak, I hated him. And that was, like, I hated him because, you know, this is my career and whatever, but I've never not liked my opponent. And of course I'm going to be respectful, but I really hated him. And anytime anybody brought him up, I'm like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? And it's different. It's different now, I think. I finally settled down and I finally got everything together where, you know, my brain is there and I can think clearly. So I don't think fear is an issue anymore.
Do you feel like in that fight you had more success just because was that fight personal? I mean, you say you hated Kwan Ho Kwak. I mean, that was just sort of because he's the guy in front of you, or did you have something against him specifically?
Not at all. Not at all. I just knew my career was on the line, and if I didn't hate this guy, I'd step off the pedal. You know what I mean? And from here on out, there's no stepping off the pedal. It's just fucking pedal to the metal, balls out, all in.
So, quote unquote, hating your opponent sort of changed the way you perform for the better.
I guess it changed my mentality. It made me think a little differently. But I think in that fight, to be honest, was the first time I ever stopped and I ever I had to slow myself down, because usually, like, even in the fight, Dan Hardy's saying, like, I get caught in the idea that it's a fight. You know, I'm so so for the first time that time, I calmed myself down and I slowed things down, and that's why I guess when you look in the beginning, like, he's kind of kicking my ass, but it's because I slowed myself down and I had to be able to visualize and see what's going on before I went all out.
Sure. What is the reason for the layoff? The fight against Kwak was, of course, in June, so it hasn't been all that long. It's not like you've been out for a year or two, but I would imagine you would have liked to get another fight in 2017?
Yeah, no, you know, I promised my girlfriend, because like I said, you know, she does so much for me. I promised her that after that fight, I'd focus on her a little bit more. She wanted to go to school to study some things. She wanted to do some stuff, you know. She wanted to hang out with her dad because her dad lives in San Francisco and we live in Hawaii. So I promised her a few things, you know, and I'm going to keep my promises. You know what I mean? And I know they offered me a fight right when we got there, like right when we got on vacation, which kind of would have been bad. Like I said, I promised her. And then we opened our own gym back in Hawaii. And with that happening, there were so many because we didn't have the money to hire people. We had the money to open the place and get it running, but mainly we were the ones running the gym. And at the time, it was so crazy and stressed out. You know, I was running around in circles, trying to help manage the gym, yada yada yada. And that's kind of the reason I left. The reason my girlfriend told me to leave is because I couldn't focus on my training. Before I came out here, I probably didn't train for like a month or two.
Oh wow!
Only because I was so, like, I'm trying to get this gym going. You know, when you open a business like that, it's just, you don't really make a lot of money, so we had to focus on that, and that just took up too much time. So my girlfriend said, if you're gonna be a gym owner or something, then you're gonna be a gym owner. If you want to be a fighter, you're gonna be a fighter. So lucky enough, she kicked me out and said, go to California.
Alrighty, Louis. Have you been told for sure by the UFC that you're gonna get another shot, another fight? Because I know usually, sometimes 3 fights, 3 losses in a row, 4 losses in a row.
Like they cut me. I'm not re-signed. I think I'm free.
Okay.
Or well, I'm like, I don't know. They have that matching period and shit. But I mean,
so this was your last fight on your contract. The Nicola one was.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, the plan right now from Jason is we're gonna do like a couple feeder promotions and try to get me back in like as quick as possible. I think Mick said 2 wins and I'm they'll re-sign me, but
okay.
Just like I mean, like with how things are going right now, like dropping 4 in a row, like I'm like I see why, dog. Like I'm not even mad about it. I'm just trying to get my shit back together as quickly as possible, you know. Like
to be fair, they gave Russell another fight.
I mean, yeah, but this dude went up a weight class and did all this crazy shit. Yeah. I mean, I did some wild stuff for them too. Don't get me wrong.
The Elliott fight was fun.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I did some wild stuff too. Fucking did the Borg thing. Fucking fought like the Pettis replacement. Fought Moreno last minute and whatever. Like, you know. But I mean, like honestly, just the way I've been performing, like I think it might be better. You know, like just go fight like in like one of the feeder promotions or whatever. Like, get some wins, kind of find my groove again, you know? Like, at least try to get some wins, you know? Like, I think maybe I lost my footing, you know? I lost my step for a little bit, and I need to go find that, you know what I'm saying?
I think what you're saying makes sense and is actually good. I think some other fighters need to think the same way, just because a lot of fighters, if they're sort of on a bit of a skid, things haven't been going their way, they're still wanting to stay in the UFC, they want another fight, and then they come up short again, and it sort of just keeps going down, where you realize, hey, I'm on a, lost a couple in a row, let's go out and get a couple wins back. What are you looking at as far as you keep saying feeder promotion? Would it be a local Hawaiian organization? Would you LFA? Do you have any ideas? Maybe overseas? Russia? Do you have any ideas? No?
I want to say they told me like CXF or something, but I mean, this is all hearsay right now. Like, sure. I mean, for all we know, somebody could fall out and Mick is like, bro, can you please step up and do this? I'll be like, yeah, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm that guy, you know what I mean? Like, bro, can you please, like, step up for us? Something happened, blah, blah. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this, you know?
Sure. Now, I know a couple weeks ago, there was some obviously very scary thing happened in Hawaii early morning, about 8 a.m. Everyone in Hawaii got a alert on their phone saying that a missile was coming towards the entire island, the entire state of Hawaii. You were there in Hawaii, right? But Russell was not. Russell would have been here in California already?
Yeah. I was freaking out, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What was that like, Louis? Waking up and like
I was scared as shit. I was freaking out. You know, I was trying to figure out if it was serious. Like, the alert on my phone looked pretty official. It's like one of those like flash flood warnings or whatever. You know, it looked pretty official. So I was kind of freaking out. So I called like a couple people and stuff, and I was like, all right, fuck it, like we're leaving, you know. And so I told like the 2 places where I thought a bomb, like where a missile would be headed for, would be like Pearl Harbor or like Hickam or fucking like Kaneohe Marine Base or Schofield or some shit like that. So like I was thinking of going to either like the North Shore or like the West Side because there's not really any military installations over there. So I assumed I'd be out of the blast radius. Like, I had, like, a fucking bag pack. Like, we were ready to fucking go. Like, we were ready to go. I was going to go right to Walmart after, go barricade that bitch. There's going to be a zombie fallout. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was ready to go.
And then for it all to be just nothing, I mean, obviously relief, but it has to sort of be annoying. It's like, you guys not tricked us, but, man, we were scared for half an hour, and then it ended up being
I was scared for my daughter's life, bro. I was scared for my life. I was scared for my fiance's life. I was kind of mad afterwards. I was like, bro, you guys can't fuck around like that. Like, yeah. I don't know what the story is. I know there's a conspiracy that there actually was a missile, but they ended up shooting it down or whatever. I don't even know if that's
Max Holloway flying knee.
Max flying knee didn't save us all. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I don't know.
Blessed era.
It was definitely a reality check, you know. It was definitely like it definitely put some things in perspective.
For sure. Well, Russell, got to ask you. You're taking on Rani Yahya at the end of February in Orlando, Florida. UFC on Fox 28. How do you feel like you get the job done?
Same way I got the job done at Quan Ho Quack. I'm gonna go on there and I'm gonna punch a hole in his head, and I'm gonna take it home as a trophy to my son.
Alrighty. Thank you guys, Louis and Russell, very much for the time. I appreciate it. Louis, first, let everybody know where they can find you on social media. Any sponsors, any shoutouts, anything. The floor is yours. And then Russell, go ahead right after Louis.
Yeah, you can find me at Last Samurai UFC on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Louis Smolka on Facebook, Dixon Yamada on Counter-Strike. And yeah, dude, shout out to my manager Jason House of Iridium Sports for letting us stay at his house while we're fucking up. Thank you for putting us in rehab and taking care of us, or whatever you want to call this, fighter rehabilitation. Shout out to him, he's the man.
Russell Doane, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Russell Doane 135. That's really all I have. But I mean, if you're gonna shout anybody out, it's definitely Jason House. Is he took us into his house and let us run amok in it. Our sponsors like Milk and Eggs, they're giving us our nice food. Virus, they give us our nice clothes.
Dr. Kessler,
Oyama, Dr. Kessler's OC Fight Docs for putting us back together when we beat ourselves up. Team Oyama for taking us in and showing us the ropes out here, and really making it feel like home.
Yeah, Defend Hawaii, sending you shirts.
Defend Hawaii, still sending us stuff, even though we're miles away.
Yeah, taking care of us. Virus. Virus has always been cool. So is Skeevy. They've been helping us out.